There's something different about highly intelligent people. Not the kind of intelligence you measure in grades or titles, but the kind that sees through illusion. In a world built on noise, they think in silence. In a society that rewards conformity, they quietly rebel. This video isn't about genius. It's about awareness. The habits you're about to hear are strange, often misunderstood, and rarely discussed. But if they sound familiar, you're not broken. You're just seeing reality for what it is. Let's uncover what society doesn't want you to know. 1. They detach from social validation. Truly intelligent people stop chasing approval. They've realized most validation is a modern currency, used to control behavior. Likes, praise, attention. It's the psychological leash of the weak. Society has made validation addictive because it keeps you predictable. When you crave recognition, you can be easily manipulated by algorithms, authority, or applause. The intelligent break that loop. They don't need to prove their worth in rooms filled with noise. Instead, they find satisfaction in private victories, projects that feed the soul, not the ego. Stoic wisdom teaches that dependence on others' opinions is slavery of the mind. That's why they walk a quieter path. When others gossip, they build. When others seek applause, they refine their craft. Their peace comes from discipline, not display. Society calls them cold or arrogant, but what they really are is free. 2. They withdraw when surrounded by mediocrity. Highly intelligent people understand that environment shapes destiny. The company you keep can either sharpen your edge or dull your spirit. They can't stand idle talk, empty ambition, or people allergic to depth. The moment a room feels stagnant, they vanish. To the unobservant, it looks like arrogance, but it's actually preservation. They would rather be alone with clarity than surrounded by dull comfort. Modern culture calls isolation unhealthy, but ancient Stoics saw solitude as refinement. Seneca once wrote, "Associate with those who may make you better." The intelligent take that literally. They don't waste energy convincing others to evolve. They quietly outgrow environments that drain them. That silence, it's not loneliness, it's strategy. They're not escaping people, they're escaping noise. To protect the one thing mediocrity destroys, focus. 3. They question morality, not from rebellion, but from reason. Intelligent people don't follow rules blindly. They ask why those rules exist. In a world built on manipulated narratives, that makes them dangerous. Society thrives when people obey without thinking, when they fear stepping outside the moral lines drawn for them. But deep thinkers see the machinery behind the curtain. They understand morality isn't universal. It's often engineered to maintain control. What one culture calls virtue, another might call submission. A Stoic mind doesn't reject morality. It purifies it. It replaces blind obedience with rational virtue. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it." That becomes their compass. Their morality isn't built on fear of punishment. It's built on alignment with reason and truth. So when the world follows trends, they follow principle, even when it isolates them, especially then. 4. They feel everything, but show almost nothing. The curse of intelligence is sensitivity. They notice tone shifts others miss. They feel tension in silence. They sense lies beneath smiles. The dishonesty, the suffering, the noise, it all cuts deeper. But they've learned not to react to every emotional impulse. They know control isn't coldness, it's self-respect. In a society obsessed with oversharing and emotional chaos, they find strength in restraint. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it that matters." They live by that law. Their calm isn't emptiness, it's armor. Beneath the quiet surface, storms rage, but they've mastered the art of stillness. They know emotion is a visitor, not a commander. While others spiral over temporary feelings, they convert that pain into perspective. And that perspective becomes wisdom. That wisdom, power. 5. They use boredom as a weapon. In a world terrified of stillness, highly intelligent people use it as fuel. They don't run from boredom, they weaponize it. When others reach for distractions, they stay with the discomfort. They think, they observe, they create. Boredom to them is a forge. In that quiet, unhurried space, ideas evolve and insights form. The modern mind panics without stimulation, scrolling endlessly, consuming endlessly. But that's the mind of a slave, addicted to noise. The Stoics called the ability to sit still the discipline of the mind. It's training for clarity, for depth, for creation. The intelligent understand that boredom isn't emptiness, it's the birthplace of originality. While the world numbs itself with noise, they build kingdoms of thought. Every empire, mental, creative or spiritual, was born from someone who sat alone and listened to themselves think. 6. They carry a subtle disdain for superficial success. Truly intelligent people see through the illusion of success. They've watched men chase wealth, fame and followers, only to end up empty, enslaved to the very systems they thought they'd mastered. The Stoics warned us, comfort and applause are traps disguised as rewards. The intelligent don't crave validation from crowds. They find meaning in mastery. They know the difference between achievement and addiction. They prefer quiet excellence over loud recognition. Their satisfaction isn't tied to outcomes. It's rooted in growth. While others flaunt symbols of prosperity, they invest in skills, knowledge, and resilience, the kind of wealth that can't be stripped away. They don't envy the man with influence. They observe him. They see how dependency on approval makes him fragile. Their quiet disdain for shallow glory isn't cynicism, it's clarity. They'd rather be unknown and unshakable than famous and hollow. 7. They expect loneliness as the price of clarity. To see clearly is to walk alone. The more intelligent a person becomes, the harder it is to connect. Conversations feel thinner, entertainment feels duller, and people mistake detachment for arrogance. But they accept it, not as a curse, but as the price of clarity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." Intelligent people take this to heart. They no longer seek belonging in shallow spaces. They understand that honesty alienates the comfortable. Awareness makes you harder to relate to. So instead of chasing connection, they cultivate peace. They trade popularity for authenticity. They trade comfort for truth. And in that solitude they find strength, the kind that builds empires within. They aren't lonely because no one understands them. They're lonely because they refuse to live half awake. If you recognized yourself in these habits, you're not strange, you're awake. Society calls your awareness weird because it can't control you. Intelligence isn't a blessing or a curse, it's responsibility. The more you see, the more you must discipline your mind, protect your peace, and live with quiet conviction. Keep walking your path, even if it's empty at times. True freedom demands solitude, reflection, and courage. Subscribe for more Stoic insights and explore the description below. Your next step toward deeper mastery begins there.